How it started versus how it's going. Well, here's how it's going. This is the variable hilt components part saber, composed entirely of parts I purchased from Vire Sabers. And I've finished customizations on the emitter, and I've finished customizations on the pommel. I've not installed electronics yet because I'm going to have to actually take an existing core apart and put it in reverse, because most modern cores are designed with emitter, button, and charger, speaker. And as you can see, the controls here are hidden under a spring load inside the box. So the activator and control button will have an extension pressing it underneath. Not sure if you can see that movement, but now you can, I'm sure. But I'm going to have to order and take apart a core to do it. Now, I put a lot of work into this. Most of the times you can order either a pre-assembled variable hilt component and have a nice custom saber, or, like me, you can kind of go a little bit bananas with your workbench, with sandpaper and the belt grinder and your random collection of spray paint and the vise, and just kind of go nuts. But let's have a look at this piece by piece. The emitter actually goes all the way down to here, but I felt that this piece was a little bit too long, which is why I liked having the sleeve come up and over. But that precluded the ability to actually have the button section here, because no matter how I set this up, the button would have been covered, the charger would have been covered. It would have been a problem. But I really went to town with sandpaper and files, and what you're looking at here isn't actually burn damage. This is spray paint. This is light gray primer. This is gunmetal. This is a little bit of metallic silver. This is black. And once it was all in place, I just started sanding. And once I got exactly those Star Wars, could be 5 years old, could be 500 years old, but well-used look, and I was satisfied with it, I then gave it a nice couple of shots of clear coat, and there we are. The appearance of burn and use damage, but it's just paint, and it's sealed. Now, moving along, we have a sleeve over the grip. I've sanded the sleeve so that way the metallic look is a bit more dulled. And you can also see the effect of the sanding versus not sanding up here as well. And also, because of the sleeve coming all the way down where the grip actually stops about where my finger is, I added a choke down here to give it a little bit of an extension. So the actual switch section would not be half under here, and I wouldn't be able to use the box. Then we get to what's become my favorite part of this piece, the pommel. I tried multiple pommels on this, and I just was not satisfied. So I did some looking around, and I realized this short emitter was almost perfect for the extension out that I wanted, and then have the pommel that I had already ordered in the back of it. But the problem is, the diameter on the exterior here is 2 millimeters too big. Well, it was. Like I said, I've got a bench grinder, and I've got files and sandpaper, and obviously spare time and plenty of coffee in my bloodstream, so I very carefully over the course of several hours ground down the 2 extra millimeters diameter until it was about, this is just a guess, 1.95 millimeters down out of the 2 needed. I then used a dremel and dremeled in small divots, just enough so that way I could fit it inside the 4 tines of the emitter. Then, using a vise, I just simply pressure fit the two together. And the end result, that is never going anywhere, and the only thing holding it together is pressure. If it ever does work its way loose, a little bit of Gorilla Glue or a little bit of JB Weld, but you'll be seeing another video on this once the electronics are in. And this is very much deliberately a two-handed piece. The design has the control box in exactly the off-angle position for the back hand for use in katana grip. The forehand would work here. So you'd be using this as a choke point for first finger to wrap through, and then the fingers fit into the grip underneath. So here we have this piece, and to give you an idea of the difference between a two-handed design like this and a hand and a half design, here it is next to my Graflex. Yes, that front half and the clamp are real antique Graflex. The back end is completely modern made because in order to get this as something affordable, I ended up getting, well, what I jokingly refer to as a half flex. And there you are. But here we are side by side. So you can see a Graflex which can be used single or double hand. And then there's mine, which could be used single hand, but really is the right length for two-handed use. So once again, I'm very happy with it so far. And the next stage is going to be adding electronics. So there's my workshop part saber that I've been working on. And I gotta say, it feels good to be back in the workshop. It feels good to be making things, and I'm pretty happy with the results. I hope you enjoy.